partnerships is a complicated relationship. There's data and workflows and touch points and activity all over the place. How do you, if you're not measuring all of that, if you're not tracking all of that and being able to bring that information and data together in some sort of a way that's actionable and reliable, you're never going to get to that point where they're saying, yes, take my investment dollars, because we know that for every dollar I spend on partnerships, I'm going to get $10 back in revenue.
So what is the magic in that formula?
The funny thing is it's relatively simple.
Hey everyone, Chip Rodgers with Inside Partnering, and welcome back. We're here at a Partnership Leaders event in San Francisco around Dreamforce, and it's been an incredible event, just jam-packed this morning. A little breakfast kind of thing.
It's a good event for a breakfast event. I've never really done one of these in breakfast. It's quite the crowd.
Yeah, and you know what? What's funny, there was no content.
I love that. I love that there was no content. I don't think anybody wants to be lectured at 9 a.m. in the morning.
It was all just breakfast and networking. It was a lot of fun. So many familiar faces and just great to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have a partnerships-focused space at a conference as diverse as Dreamforce. Yeah. So
I'm so excited to be joined by my friend, Greg Portnoy, who's CEO and founder of Euler. And you've been on a tremendous growth path I think you started the company like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago?
2.5 years ago, yeah. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. It's been a wild ride, to say the least.
It's fantastic. Your background is in partnerships and marketing. You started with Deloitte in a consulting role, and then you were with Adobe and a couple of startups, and then ran your own partnership consulting practice, and now you're running Euler.
Yeah, from consulting to sales to partnerships for 10 years, and then saw a big gap in the market for the tooling that existed for partnerships teams as opposed to any other go-to-market team. So decided to build the thing that I always wished I had for 10 years.
That's terrific. So it's a big leap, and it's a leap of faith, and you've been talking about your vision with Euler for how partners can work better together. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, if you think about it objectively, partnerships is the most efficient go-to-market channel, and yet you look at sales, you look at marketing, those are simpler workflows and simpler relationships. I'm not saying they're easy, but partnerships is objectively more complicated, and yet those teams have a plethora of tools to support their workflow, to support their growth, to make what they do scalable. And partnerships doesn't really have anything like that. We have a few point solutions, we have some legacy PRMs that have a few features like deal registration and content management, but no one has ever actually looked at the entirety of the partnerships team's workflow and the entire partner experience and thought about which parts of this are unnecessarily manual and inefficient, where are people spending their time on low-value activities versus the only things that you hire partnerships people for, which is pipeline generation and relationship development. So how do we eliminate all of that? How do we make this job scalable? And then from there, how do we make this channel predictable so that the people that actually sign the checks and approve the budgets, the C-suite, the boards, can actually feel comfortable investing in something that they understand what outcome they're going to get for their dollar?
Which is always what you want to see, right? You're not going to make the investment unless you are comfortable that you're going to get something more back.
Exactly, and that's why they historically have not invested enough. I was just talking to someone, and you think about it, you see someone hire a sales team, you see them hire a marketing team. Day one, they say, what tools do you need to be successful? Yeah. That almost never happens on the partnership side. They already feel that even though the partnerships team is smaller than any other, especially by like ratio of quota, they already feel like they're overspending on the small headcount that they have for partnerships. And so they really have to earn their way to resourcing and budget. And we want to make it so that there's a very clear ROI story to tell, not just on our solution, but on partnerships as a channel.
Yeah. So then it goes back to measurement.
Absolutely. Again, partnerships is a complicated relationship. There's data and workflows and touch points and activity all over the place. How do you, if you're not measuring all of that, if you're not tracking all of that and being able to bring that information and data together in some sort of a way that's actionable and reliable, you're never going to get to that point where they're saying, yes, take my investment dollars, because we know that for every dollar I spend on partnerships, I'm going to get $10 back in revenue.
So what's the magic to that? What's the connection to say, hey, here is an investment, and here's how you've got current customers and case stories and customers that are already achieving that. So what is the magic in that formula?
The funny thing is it's relatively simple. The first part of it is relatively simple. Because these teams have been operating so inefficiently for so long, and they've been so starved for anything that creates any leverage for them, we already saw, just even in our first year in the market, when we didn't have 50% of what we have in the product now, we already saw an average of 3 to 4x partner-sourced revenue growth, 4 to 9x partner portfolio growth, and an average $40,000 savings per partner manager on time that was previously wasted on manual things. And so I think the really interesting opportunity, though, is this AI revolution. Because AI...
We got to talk about AI.
Got to talk about AI. I used to really not want to talk about AI, but now I'm a big believer because it honestly really works. No, the beautiful thing about AI is that you put AI into sales or marketing. These are processes and workflows that have already been optimized to the nth degree before AI. And AI can create more optimization, but you're talking about incremental marginal gains. Partnerships is such an inefficient workflow. They have been so starved for tooling, leverage, and data that when you give something as powerful as AI to those teams, assuming they have some sort of foundational process and relatively good data, the leaps and bounds, the absolute just magnitude of impact that something like AI can make for these teams is truly amazing. While I'm all in on AI for GTM in general, I think the biggest winner from a go-to-market sense for AI is going to be partnerships, bar none.
So if I think of the different motions that partners typically go through, there could be, kind of think of the co-build, co-market, co-sell, co-service. Where are the biggest levers?
I think it's a little bit of all of those. It depends on what your goal is with partnership, right? Partnership can be done for revenue, it can be done for exposure, it can be done for product adoption. So I think it depends on what your goals are, but ultimately anything where you're doing something with a partner, co-sell, co-market, even like resell. For example, like we have an AI agent that now lives 24/7 inside of the portal that not only knows everything about a partner's referrals and deals and commissions and agreements and affiliate links and all that and pipeline, but it actually will read and watch any enablement content or trainings that you have shared with the partner, and it becomes an absolute expert on all of that. So sales enablement, marketing enablement, product enablement. So if you have someone coming in and asking, oh, how do I pitch this part of your product if they're co-selling, or how do you differentiate against this product, or how does this piece of your solution work? If you've uploaded the content, the AI knows it, it can answer the question. That's really the opportunity, is the pure magnitude, again, of touch points and things that you have to do to effectively enable a partner to co-sell, co-market, resell is massive. And now tooling and AI can just take off the vast majority of that off of someone's plate, so you can really focus on being strategic and driving towards outcomes.
So that's terrific, because partner enablement, it's hard enough as a salesperson to learn about your own products, right? There's always new things coming out, and now you got a partner and you got to figure out what their solution is and what's the better together story and all that. So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, again, it's hard enough to enable salespeople. Now you're going to expect a totally separate business with totally separate incentives and goals to go out and spend their time like learning your product, learning how to pitch it, learning how to market it, learning how it works. Like it's such a tall hill to climb, or steep hill to climb, and they don't want better enablement, they want the answer. So now feed that into an AI, it basically becomes your Chip plus Greg partnership LLM, and now just ask it the question, it'll give you the answer, you'll get the thing done that you're trying to get done, and you just move on. And that's the beauty of AI. People don't want AI to just make it easier for them to do things. They want it to do the thing for them. They want it to give them the answer, and it can.
Yeah, and it's so tough to get sales attention. They're just slammed all the time. We're going to put you through an enablement class. Sorry. Get it to me at the point that I really need it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm excited with what we're launching this week.
Tell us about that. That's exciting.
So we already had something called Deal Flow AI, which was basically the ability where if a partner emails you a referral or a deal registration, you can just forward the email or CC it to Euler, and our AI will parse the email. There's no structure required, and register it so that nobody has to, and it'll go straight into your CRM, create whatever you want, opportunities, leads, which is great because nobody has to fill out a form via email. Now, obviously, everybody works, or most people work with their partners in Slack. All of the reps are in Slack, all of the conversations and co-selling is happening in Slack. Now, we've extended Dealflow AI into Slack. So now if a partner sends you a deal reg or a referral in Slack, says, hey, I I want to register this deal, you can click those little 3 dots next to a message, click register with AI, and it'll register directly from a Slack message. You're done.
Wow.
That's it. And not only that, but you can also send leads to your partners from Slack. So now your reps on your team can just be in Slack and actually just call up the Euler bot, select the right form, the partner, fill it out, send it out to the partner, directly tracked outbound lead to the partner, all from within Slack.
That's amazing. That's exciting. I want to see it.
Yeah. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. We've had a lot of folks clamoring down our door to build something deeper in Slack, and I think this is going to just be a game changer where we found that most alliances, most like really good co-sell partnerships, they're just living in Slack and the reps are just going back and forth. So why not meet them where they work?
That's terrific. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, seeing more about it, and excited about where it's going. Good luck with it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we're excited too. This is just the first of many of these kinds of announcements where we're going to keep meeting everybody where they work. We're going to remove friction, every little bit of friction for you and your reps or the partner and their reps. That reduces deal velocity. That reduces just revenue. So remove friction, increase revenue. It's actually been pretty simple in that way so far.
That's good. Keep it simple and understandable and a real pain point.
Yeah.
That's terrific. So Greg, we're here at a PL event, and I think one of the first times that you and I connected was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago on that WhatsApp channel? Remember that? Going to Catalyst.
Yeah, in Denver.
And then we ended up, there was a spontaneous, hey, let's talk about chief partner officers, and I can't remember, but we came up with T-shirts, CPO loading sort of thing. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And I think you actually went out and got the T-shirts.
I didn't. I think we collaborated on the idea, and then somebody else got the T-shirts. But it's incredible to see how much this community and ecosystem has grown. And not just grown, but it really feels like it's matured. There was a lot of kind of hype, and we called it the eco chamber for a couple of years there, and everybody was talking about it. But now it seems like everyone's like really put their heads down, and they're focused on what does good look like? How do we build scalable frameworks around ideal partner profile and partner acquisition and partner enablement and partner engagement and management, and people are just doing the work. And so like the conversations have really changed from this sounds like a good idea and we want to do well to we're doing well and this is how we're doing it and we want to get better. And it's very exciting to just see just a lot of really good partner leaders now focused on outcomes.
And the conversations going on in Slack, first of all, they're just constant, right? There's so much going on. But to your point, it's all very nuts and bolts, real challenges that people have, people chiming in and offering to help and all that. Yeah, no, that's the beauty of being partner people. We're very collaborative and we're always looking to add value. At least the good ones are always looking to add value to each other. So it's good. It's good. There's a lot of good information out there and I think it's just getting better. And I think the partnership leaders team themselves has really started to focus on just being more tactical. And I know they're putting on a lot of content that's more tactical. So it's exciting to watch. I used to think that partnerships was old hat and that we were late to the game, but I've realized it's actually a very nascent space. It's actually a very nascent function, and the best is still to come. Yeah. And Asher and Chris and Ty have done a phenomenal job putting together the community, and it all started organically, which is really cool.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was like in the first 300 members. I remember them reaching out. I think I joined PL and Pavilion around the same time, like shortly after my second VP of Partnerships role, and to see what it's evolved into and what they're starting to do with like Atlas and the research reports, which was much needed because we have C-suite and boards constantly saying, what does good look like? So it's exciting, and obviously I love those guys. I think they've done a great job. So it's really impressive what this has evolved into from that early day. Like, we're just a Slack channel for partner people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Greg, thank you so much for taking some time today and chatting about your journey and about Euler, and congrats on the launch, and really excited to see it take off.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chip. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
And thank you all for joining another episode of Inside Partnering, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.